我觉得他可能对自己的能力现在已经有了比较清楚的认识，所以呢，他不能把话说的那么死。就一方面呢。
Of course, it insists on blaming other countries for its own social fragmentation and problems, and it continues to do that. It's also raised the issue of China's trading relationships with Russia, which is a relatively new issue insofar as these tariff talks are concerned, and in effect challenged China's own sovereign capability to make decisions as to whom it will trade with and whom it will not trade with. Needless to say, China pushed back on that. And so I think that they are three big-ticket items. The rest of it is relatively small beer in the scheme of things. The United States is, of course, seeking to increase its sales of agricultural products once again. The United States agricultural sector is going to experience its third consecutive year of trade deficits, which is the first time in 70 years that this has happened. And there are some clear problems across the Midwest and other parts of the American agricultural sector that are eroding at the support that President Trump garnered from these parts of Middle America. From the Chinese side, the issues I don't think have ever really changed. At heart, of course, is the lose-lose reality of tariffs, and that makes no sense at all for anybody to operate trading relationships on the basis of tariffs. Secondly, I think China has been raising consistently, not only in these talks but ongoing, its objections to the American weaponization of technology exports, particularly in relation to semiconductors. So they are some of the big-ticket items that I think will have been central to these discussions. And of course, these issues are strategic in nature and will not be readily resolved without some very deep and serious willingness to consider basically strategic and structural questions.
If they're strategic, that means those issues are quite important to both countries. So it's understandable that it'll be a bit hard for both countries to give in any aspect. So, Professor Chi, what's your take here? How do you think Russia weighs in the bilateral talks between the U.S. and China?
Yeah, I think this time really talking a lot of things. And according to the U.S. side, they're talking about the concern about China import energy, especially the oil and gas from Russia. But for me, I think this is now the key issue. This is maybe the negotiating leverage. And for the United States, I still think the tariff, especially for Donald Trump, the tariff still is the key issue. Depends on how he will announce to the Americans and to the world to win again, right? And what the tariff level he will impose to China. And in order to achieve that, now the United States bring more issues into the negotiation. So this time we look at the Russian issue, we look at state-owned enterprises issue and overcapacity production issue. So a lot of issues came in. So I still think the key issue is still the tariff issue. By the way, if the United States really concerned about the Russia issue, and that is why when Donald Trump will announce when he came into power, he will announce the European countries, they felt betrayed by Donald Trump, by the United States, why he tried to bring Russia and Ukraine together to reach a deal. And I think for many European countries, they felt betrayed by the United States. So here the key issue is still the tariff issue, and Russia is now the major issue between a trade deal.
All right. And Dr. Zhou, do you have any inside information from your peers at the Commerce Ministry?
No, I don't think that I have this kind of information coming from them, but I believe that there are a lot of discussion about the tariffs, about the practices of China's like import.
将于8月15日起正式施行，新规增加了对生产体。
About the reason why we're seeing the so-called reciprocal tariffs is are unilateral.
Бостата четвърме ден след. Ото
رنگ کرشکان رنگ سمه ده خو بیا هم رنگ خپل کارونه نه کول او هر وخت به وایي چې ښه دی اوس کار کوم ورځ به تېره شوه دیوال په څو ورځو کې ډک شو پوهېږې ولې په دې چې ډېره لګۍ کولې او ټول په دیوال
我怎么也有资源，但是并没有。
در آفریقا مناطق پرواز ممنوع چند برابر شدند و این وضعیت صنعت هوانوردی بین‌المللی را دچار بحران کرده و اقتصاد و ایمنی پرواز را دگرگون